Picks up, Miner fans. This is Miners All Access. Locally sponsored by Oscar Arrieta Allstate.
Yeah, I know what you're probably saying. Same old UTEP Miners, right? Actually, you're wrong. Hi, everybody. This is Miners All Access. Any reasonable UTEP fan knows you cannot turn the Miner football program around overnight. Nobody knows that more than the head football coach of the Miners, Coach Dimel. Coach, I know you didn't get off the way you wanted to get off with the loss to NAU, but this team didn't look anything like last year's team. Everything from the uniforms to the effort to the fire to the way they played football.
I really liked the effort. I thought they competed very, very well throughout the whole game, even when we fell behind at the end there, 30-10. I wanted to turn on the film and watch the way the guys competed, and they competed very, very well, kept fighting to the bitter end, which I appreciate a bunch.
Yeah, now listen, it's all about wins and losses. I get that, 13 straight losses now. But the way you have to look at this is Mets throws the pick, and NAU's got the short field, they get 7 points out of it. Your son fumbles the football, they get 3 points out of it. The kid makes the hell of a catch for NAU, the juggling one,
sure,
that's another 7. And then I think on the Loxley pick, they scored again. So really, this Lumberjack team didn't impress me that much, but you made it easy for them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they had a good football team, definitely had a good football team, but we made a lot of unforced errors, and that's the thing I talk about all the time. Eliminate the unforced errors, and in the first ball game, we definitely did not do that.
Let's show everybody exactly, in case you were not at the football game. Hey, you brought the mine shaft back.
Yes.
This was kind of cool. Be careful, you don't trip them.
Exactly. You can see me taking my time down the steps there. That wouldn't be a good entry at all.
And you're looking down. But this is cool, and the fans, of course, love it. The Miners, the cool uniforms. Crowd, I thought, was disappointing. They announced 17,000. I thought you'd have a minimum 30,000. New coach, new attitude. But again, you got to win games, and that's what's going to get people back. Here's your past and your future. Deion Hankins from Parkland on the left, and of course, the great Aaron Jones on the right, dropping by for UTEP's home opener against Northern Arizona. Now, you decide to go with Ryan Metz as a starter, and didn't go exactly the way he wanted it to go.
Right, here we are, third down, big first third down of the game, and Ryan, should have not forced that in there, and he knows that, and it led to a big turnover. And your first ball game momentum is so important, and they start off with great field position right here, and then did a scripted drive. And our defense was getting used to the tempo of a game. The first drive of a game, and they had a short field. By the time it was over, NAU was in the end zone. So I thought we put our defense in a tough situation there for sure. And so we decided to go with Kai and see what he could do here. And, he got into the game, and we like the things he brings to the table. Here this was a play he threw into the flat, and Winston got hit twice, as he caught the ball right there. He needs to do a better job of holding on to it. And but before you know it, we give them another short field, and now they're up 10-0. Our defense did a good job of keeping them out of the end zone there, at least, and keeping it to a 10-0 ball game, which I thought was a good effort. And a good
Let me tell you something about your defense. They play with attitude. They were hitting, and I thought the effort was there all night.
Yeah, that's a great shot right there of AJ coming up and getting a good hard hit on the offensive lineman, and then Sione coming up and playing physical as well, and you can see us rallying there as well. Nick Needham making a big play. So our guys on defense played extremely well, but not good enough for us to win, because if they did, we would have won, and that's the attitude we got to have. Offense gives up 3 turnovers, defense needs to get 4. We need to win the turnover margin.
Some plays you can't defend, and this is one of them. This guy made a heck of a play.
This was a great play, and I heard it was on the ESPN highlights for one of the top 3 plays of the week, and he's just a big, tall, athletic player and had a really nice game for them. And what I liked about this is that we're down 17-0, and from this point on, the rest of the second half, we fought and got ourselves back into the ball game at half with a couple of scores here that we're showing. Here's the first touchdown. Great throw out to Q Wadley. He makes a really good run. I thought Q played extremely well in the ball game, did some really neat things, and was our offensive player of the week. So definitely something to build on with his ability in the backfield.
You end up getting the field goal late. So now all of a sudden, hey, wait a minute, UTEP's waking up here, down 17-10 at the half, and like we said, the excitement is, last year's team throws in the towel.
Right.
Your guys just kept coming with that first possession of the third quarter killed you.
Yeah, in the locker room, had good energy in the locker room, which is so important. And then this drive right here to start the third quarter, they had a couple key third down conversions in that drive that led to the touchdown. If we could have gotten off the field, it would have been a much different story. But again, we're only down 23-10. Another touchdown would get us back in us. We failed on a fourth down conversion a little bit earlier before this pick that you see right there. And then that pick kind of closed it out right there and made it 30-10, even though I thought our guys fought. And, you know, we've come back from 30-10 as that score puts them up there right there. But I feel like we didn't make any plays down the stretch there, and you start to see that we didn't finish the way we wanted to finish there at the end of the ball game to make it a little bit closer at the end.
Yeah, and I'm not going to blame the crowd. They haven't seen a win now in 13 straight games, so I can understand that. But a couple of things I want to point out right here from Loxley. This is why you brought him here. He showed signs of what he's going to be doing this year.
Right, and he didn't quite get out there, but he almost did, and I'm expecting that to happen a lot this season, where his athletic ability really gets him going and gets him out in space and creates some big plays for us, for sure.
Your punt and kick returner.
Yes, Terry did a great job.
Yeah, Juniel.
Yes,
Juniel, sorry.
Yeah, Terry Juniel did a great job for us. He had 120 return yards, which I thought was really good, and our special teams were just good all night, and that was a big area, question mark for us too as we went into the season, because we have a new snapper, a new punter, and a new kicker all working for us right now. So they all performed very well. And then here, this is kind of the tough situation there. We had a missed assignment up front. We actually had a play on where we had a receiver running wide open down the boundary there for a big play. So there was some disappointment here at the end, but that's the situation you get into when you fall down by 20 points and they know you got to throw, and they can kind of not worry about you creating a big play and blitz you. And so that kind of led to these sacks at the end that skewed the stats a little bit too.
And when two of your offensive linemen are out for the year, which I know is tough, and I know you'll be working on the offensive line. Hey, when we come back, what the players are saying about the loss to NAU, and a look at UNLV, that's UTEP's next opponent. First, this week's Miner Trivia. We call it the Miner Nugget. The question, which football player is the only Miner to be named Freshman of the Year and Player of the Year? Answer at the end of the show. Welcome back to Miners All Access. Remember, UTEP plays in Conference USA's Western Division. Want to give you an idea of what's happening in Conference USA West with some of the teams that UTEP will see down the road. North Texas looked awesome against SMU. Mean Green winners 46-23. UAB, remember they almost canceled football, or they did cancel football a couple of years ago. It's not bothering the Stallions. 52-0, they pounded Savannah State. Some other scores from the Western Division make Jackson State at Southern Miss. Southern Miss a big winner. La Tech went on the road and beat South Alabama. That final 30-26. UTSA was in Tempe to play the Sun Devils. ASU got them badly, 49-7, and Rice a loser at home to Houston. That final 45-27. Holly Watts is the head coach of the UTEP volleyball team. Coach, thanks for coming in. Before we talk about your team, and maybe you can confirm this or not, it seems to me when I talk to a lot of the middle school volleyball players and even the high school level, is there this crazy explosion with beach and sand volleyball?
Yes, there is right now. There is. The NCAA has added it as the 90th championship sport, and I believe since 2016 or 17, it's been a championship sport.
It's coming around. I'm just finding out about
really
it now.
Yeah,
This is the 2-on-2, like you see the 2-on-2 beach sand volleyball.
Like you see in the Olympics.
They're giving athletic scholarships.
Yes.
Have you lost any players to?
We actually have.
Yes.
Yeah, we have. So it's really popular in the kind of the coastal cities a little bit more, but there's also a few teams in the conference that has it. A few teams
in
on
Conference
the East
USA you're talking about. They're playing beach volleyball, scholarship players, and they're playing for national championships.
Yes. Yes.
I'm telling you, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I just hearing this over the last year, so I figured you're the perfect person to ask.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your team a little bit. You were on the road, right? 2-4 on the season. You lost 2 of 3 at the Omaha Challenge. That's in Nebraska.
Right.
What kind of progress is this team making?
Well, I think we're working hard to get better every day. We have some great new talent that's come in, and it's just a chance to for them to get out on the court, and they're taking advantage of the opportunities. You can see them there in practice. Our assistant coach, Patty Figueiredo, does a great job with instruction and leading them out there. We've got a freshman setter that's doing great work. And
I was just going to say, you've got a young team, just a couple of seniors, 3 seniors on the whole team?
We do, just 3 seniors out of 17 on the roster. Yeah.
So you're building for the future here. Again, the UTEP volleyball team is 2-4 on the year, like you mentioned, just 3 seniors. Now you're getting set for University of Arizona. So does this tournament prepare you for U of A?
Yes, for sure. We'll play University of Arizona at New Mexico State on Friday. And then we play our first home match against Montana at 11 a.m. on Saturday.
This is the Borderland Invitational
Yes.
at New Mexico State.
The first on Friday is at New Mexico State. And then on Saturday we play at home right there in Memorial Gym where we get to practice as well. And then on Sunday we'll play against New Mexico State at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Aggies have a good team again?
Yeah, they always have
do.
a good team. They always do. They're always towards the top of their conference, and they do a really good job over there. And so that's a good measuring stick for us.
Well, listen, I'll tell you, the UTEP soccer team has not lost since Coach Cross came on our show.
Oh, nice.
So I hope the same thing happens with you.
Yes, thank you.
Good luck with the UTEP women this year, Coach, and thank you for dropping in. Still to come, we're going to answer our trivia question. You want to see that answer, right?
Yes, for sure.
So we're going to answer the trivia question, and he brought home a conference championship to UTEP. What this former Miner is doing now, 20 years later. That's straight ahead on Miners All Access. It is now that portion of the show where we get away from the X's and O's. This week, we go out of bounds with UTEP softball player Ariel Blair. Your biggest pet peeve?
When people chew their gum too loud.
Yes, me too. I can't stand that. It's like being at the movies and people eating popcorn.
Yep.
Like, will you be quiet? I can't hear the TV screen or the movie screen. Favorite food?
Pasta. I love Italian food.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Have you ever lied to get out of a traffic ticket?
I have not.
Don't
actually.
lie.
I haven't.
Okay. Favorite athlete?
Tom Brady, Derek Jeter.
Got to pick one.
Derek Jeter.
Have you ever cut in line?
I have.
I appreciate the honesty. Favorite late night snack?
Cereal.
What kind?
Honeycombs.
I'm a Captain Crunch for Crunch Berries guy myself. Person you would most like to have in a foxhole? The person you want if you're, we got to win this game. We got to come through here. The person who's never going to let you down.
My mom, definitely.
Your dad's going to see this.
I know. It's okay. He'll say my mom too.
We actually had video of Ariel's mom and dad because a couple of years ago we did a story on Ariel Blair, and her mom and dad were part of that story. Let's move on to the guy who turned pro back in 1991. Now, 27 years later, he just cannot break away from the sport. In this week's edition of Where Are They Now?, we catch up with former UTEP great Paul Stankowski. There's Paul. Remember Paul, back in 1990, brought a WAC championship to the Miners, three-time All-America pick, played 20 years on the PGA Tour, finished 5th in the 97 Masters. Now he's living over in the DFW area as a broadcaster with the PGA Tour Entertainment, so Paul can't get away from it. Still married to his wife, Regina, which he met here in El Paso, and as you can see, they've got 2 lovely children. Paul Stankowski. Finally, the answer to our Miner Nugget, the question: which UTEP football player is the only Miner to be named Freshman of the Year and the Player of the Year? The answer: Baron Wortham. Did it in 1990 and 1993. Great linebacker for the UTEP football team. Hey, quick update on the UTEP soccer team. They have now won 2 in a row. 3 of 4. They're 4-2 on the season, defeating Grand Canyon and Northern Illinois. They're at New Mexico and at Weber State this weekend. Once again, though, the big topic, the Miner football team on the road. First road game as a Miner coach for Dana Dimel at UNLV. It is Saturday, 7 o'clock. It can be seen on AT&T Sportsnet. Let me explain real quickly what that is. AT&T Sportsnet is the old Root, R-O-O-T, the old Root Sports. It is available on Dish, it's available on DirecTV, and even on Spectrum. Of course, it depends on who your cable provider is. But you can watch that game. If not, don't worry. We've got the signal coming into our place here at both KFOX 14 and at CBS 4. So if you can't get it, watch our newscast. Of course, we'll have the highlights. And of course, next week's Miner All Access. Real quickly, want to address the crowd at the UTEP football game. Listen, I'm a fan just like you are. 17,000, I understand why you might be down on UTEP football. I also understand the weather was crazy during the day, and I also understand it was a holiday weekend. But I'm telling you, come out and watch this team. You will see the program is heading in the right direction despite the loss. For Coach Dimel, Coach Watts, I'm Lou Romano. Picks up.